Recently, while I was guesting on another podcast, the host asked me a question which I hear all the time. What's the most important thing when it comes to Facebook ad lead costs? How do I get lower lead costs? And most people focus on getting the lowest lead costs possible, but that's a mistake. It's not just about low cost per lead. What really matters is getting the highest quality lead at the lowest cost possible. That's why I put that on my website. So today I'll walk you through exactly how I attract high quality leads with Facebook and Instagram ads, people who are more likely to buy, engage, and stick around without burning cash on cheap, low intent leads. So, like, the problem with chasing super low cost leads is while a $2 lead or $1 lead, that might sound great if it was just about getting lowest lead costs. Well, I could give you some things that you would not want to do, as in you could do these to get super low lead costs, but those leads would not convert. Like, for example, you could just target any old country, not paying attention to where your clients usually come from. And Facebook and Instagram, Meta, their algorithm will go ahead and optimize for those people. Great people, but they might not be qualified to buy your offer. Or imagine if you had a webinar where you were going to sell a $500 offer, but you were targeting, a bunch of countries from, let's say, Southeast Asia or the near Middle East. Again, you would get leads onto your email list for like pennies on the dollar, but who would be able to buy an offer that's $500 if it costs, say, 3 months, 4 months of their salary, a year of their salary, right? So the thing is Facebook and Instagram, Meta, the algorithm, it tends to optimize for like cheap leads by showing ads to low quality audiences. So you really have to get good about your targeting and be intentional with it, which is why one of the audiences that I go to first when I start managing ads for a client is a lookalike of their current email list or even their current client email list, the segment of their email list, because people who have already opted in to something and given you their email, that's a good indicator that they could be the right kind of lead. And people who have already done business with you are the best kind of lead. So why not upload that list to Facebook and Instagram, Meta, if you will, and say, hey, here's this list. Can you give me a bunch more people who share similarities to the folks that are already on my list? Now, I talked about wanting to focus on a high quality lead, right? So here's what you do. You speak directly to the people in your ads who you can best serve. And you do that on sales pages and in emails too. Like, take ads, for example. I can get better at this, but I don't do e-com ads. Therefore, I don't make episodes that have to do with the difficulties and challenges and successes that someone would have if they're running ads for e-commerce. And by the way, if you're like, but QUAY.jo, could you do my ads? I have digital products. E-com ads, when I refer to that name, I mean folks who have like 40 products. They're usually physical products, on their on their website. There's something called D-com, like the letter D in com, like digital commerce, where you might be a course creator, a coach, a membership owner, and you have like 4 or 5 different courses or offers on sale. You're not doing e-com, and so you still fall into the, let's say, the kind of person that I could serve and work with. So I try to speak directly to course creators, mostly, somewhat to coaches, and somewhat to membership owners. So the first step to get high quality leads is to actually do your good research, right? That quote by Thomas Edison, we miss out on opportunity because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. You can't attract a high quality lead if you don't know what they need. That rhymed. So look at your best customers, for example. Where have they come from? What help did they need the most? If you do one-on-one consultations, coaching, dump your transcript into your favorite AI and ask your AI to analyze what questions do they ask the most. I have a knowledge base of all, and this document, it's a Google document, it contains all of my transcripts from my coaching calls. And I will routinely just dump them all into ChatGPT. Actually, I have 2 knowledge bases now because there's so many calls. And I'll ask ChatGPT, like, what do my clients, I'm like, these are my ideal clients, what do they most need help with? I'll even ask for podcast ideas. I'll even ask for all the questions that were asked and then to order them in the frequency that they were asked, paying attention to lump similar questions together, this sort of thing. AI is great at that. and that research will really help you if you ask, what are the common pain points? Or just say, here's all my coaching calls. Can you really deduce who the best kind of customer is? Because I love working with the folks who are on this coaching call, and watch the inferences that AI comes up with. You could also look to your course and see which lessons are watched the most, or which lessons have the highest retention rate, if you will, get the most, not views, but have the highest percentage of the lesson completed. Or if you're giving a call to action on your social media content to DM you with questions, what kind of questions do you usually get asked? Ask your audience in emails for feedback. Have that email in your onboarding sequence or your opt-in sequence for a free lead magnet that asks what problem is, top of mind, and what question do they have for you. They could just hit reply. You won't get tons of people that hit reply, but you will get some, and store those questions somewhere. You can do a simple survey, for example, on your thank you page or following one of your launches. All these will help you find the quality customer. So your lead magnet needs to serve a specific problem. Your program or your service needs to solve a specific problem too. So here's a quick exercise. Write down the problem that your offer solves. So if you're thinking about running ads to a lead magnet, write down the problem that your lead magnet solves, okay? Or your program. And now that you've done that, write down the frustrations that stem from that problem. Get 5 frustrations, because it's these exact same frustrations that you're going to test as hooks in your ad copy to see which resonates the best. And you'll know which one resonates the best because let's say most of your ad copy is the same, but the hook speaks to different frustrations. Well, then which ad will be getting the lowest cost per lead? That is the ad copy that works the best. Of course, you want to make sure all of your ad copy is paired up with the same graphic text on image, right? That's easily consumable in a matter of seconds. That way you can say the ad copy is the only variable that is different. This is the first phase, by the way, of my Olympic Gold testing framework, which I outline in my course called the Lead Gen Cheat Code. It's $37 normally for you because you're listening to this podcast right now. It's just $17. I've seen students in there cut their lead cost over 50%, up to 60%. So just like think for a moment. Either you're going to be able to spend half the money on ads, or you can double your email list in the same amount of time because you took the time to cut your lead costs. There's 4 phases that I test through on every client, and I outline those in the course. And also, this is something where if you ever wanted to peer over my shoulder and see how I deal with all the surprises that happen in an account as I go through this phase, because nothing is ever perfect, as you probably know, since you're managing ads for yourself, then you're in luck because that's inside of the course too. So test your ads that speak to different frustrations, or test different angles. The way you frame your message matters. Here's an example, and I'll use myself and an ads example. You could have an urgency driven hook, stop losing money on ads that don't convert. Or maybe you have like a pain focused hook. Sick of launching to crickets? Right? There's the pain of a bad ad, or an aspirational type hook. Like, what if your next launch brought in 5x the amount of sales, or 5x more sales? And then, what are the frustrations for people who are not great at ads? For me, I have an ad copy frustration. It's like, so a hook could be like, are you tired of spending hours writing your Facebook and Instagram ad copy just for your ads to not convert anyway? Ooh, well, that's to people like me who don't like writing, but are you good at writing copy, but do you just get stuck on what images could really stop the scroll and boost your ad performance? Okay, there's another frustration, right? That's focused on the ad creative. Well, now you have some examples. Go ahead and transliterate those examples to your own business and get some ad copy that you can start testing and watch for which one performs best, and your business will love you for the results. Your future self will thank you that you did do the work. A couple signs you might want to know that you're attracting high quality leads. If you do this research, then your ad copy is speaking to the best kind of lead, right? Because you've tested it. Okay, so that's how you know you're attracting a high quality lead. High quality research begets high quality leads because you're speaking to the right people. Now, as you're attracting them, here are some signs. They're opening your emails. Do you have standard open rates or above, 30% or above email open rates? What about a link click-through rate in your email? Could be a click-through to your account on Instagram to follow you, could be a click-through to watch an episode on the podcast, could be a click-through, hopefully, to your sales page for one of your offers, but are your click-through rates on point? Do people engage with your content? Do they ask questions? The very obvious one, do your leads move forward and buy your paid offers? Do they book discovery calls with you? Do they pay for coaching? Do they purchase your course? Because if you're attracting low quality leads, it hurts. It hurts. It really does. Because not many people are opening our emails. Nobody's buying our offer. Here's a quick action step. Go into your email CRM, whatever you use, ConvertKit, Kajabi, Active Campaign, and look at the last 50 leads. How many of them opened at least 2 emails? You can have your VA on your team do this if you have a VA. How many responded to a CTA? If you have an email series about booking a call, how many of them actually booked a call with you? So on and so forth. What I want you to understand is that don't just chase the lowest lead cost. It's really about a high quality lead. And if you're running lead magnets, say to a webinar, or if you have a low ticket offer that you're selling, you really want to be looking at the number of leads that you're bringing in and the amount of money you're making per lead. And as I hold my hands and I separate them, one at my forehead, one at my chest, this top hand equals the revenue that you're generating per lead, and this bottom hand is the cost per lead for running Facebook and Instagram ads. And you want this gap, this profit gap, to be as big as possible. And after you research your best customer, then you can get focused on attracting more people like them because you're crystal clear on the real problem that your lead magnet program or course solves. By the way, if you're like, my course solves 3 problems, well, you probably should focus on one, because your messaging is going to be diluted if your messaging has to focus on folks that are coming to you for 3 different problems. And I bet that those 3 problems are not created equal, and that most people that you are helping enact a transformation in their life actually are coming to you for one problem. So test different angles too for your ad copy, for your hook, especially that portion at the top of your ad copy, and see what resonates. This is where the success in 2025 will come. This is where, because of messaging and good messaging again, is where you'll see business growth. Because look, you, my friend, were put on this earth with skills and passions that were meant to help people. And so this research, yes, it benefits you and your business and your family. Awesome. But it also means that you could accomplish more of your mission serving more of the people who you were meant to serve. And if you need help lowering your lead cost with my tried and true framework that I use for every client, I mean, you can lower your lead cost in just over a week. And that's in the ad testing cheat code, normally $37. It is for $17 right now. Find that link. You deserve lower lead costs and to double your email list with the right kind of people.